What are you going to use 3,000 bob in the house to get unlimited, whether it's Zuku or Safaricom or Fiber or JTL? Unless you have fiber in the home where you have uncapped data, you can watch all you want at whatever time you want. It's very, very hard for you because using data bundles is very expensive, whether you're using Safaricom, whether you're using Airtel. So for us, and that's the point I was making when I was talking about what the government needs to do, what the different players in the ISP space need to do is to enhance the extent of access to the internet across the entire country. And with that, that's where some of us are doing partnerships with Safaricom. We already have an existing partnership with Safaricom where you'll see from time to time they'll be pushing Showmax.
I just want to add on the challenges we see. You allude to competitors. We don't see Netflix a competitor. We don't see Showmax a competitor, Viewsas a competitor. And that's not out of arrogance. We think it's fantastic guys are going to this space because they're helping us with consumer education. Right? One of the biggest challenges we've had is consumer education, telling people what it is, how to use it, how to start buying, data for this, whole platform. Our biggest challenge is the pirate market. That's the biggest challenge we're facing. That's who we are competing against, right? People are spending on average about 200 to 500 shillings a month on pirated material. We go to the studios and we go and buy a big production from Warner Brothers, and we're spending thousands upon thousands of dollars, and then next week is available on a torrent site. That's the biggest challenge we are having, and that's what we are fighting with every single day. We need support from government, from regulation, and all that's front there. And also the studios have to come in and say, guys, and we have this conversation with studios all the time. You want how much for 30 minutes? come, I get it for 5 cents, 50 cents, 50 shillings, next week. So that's the biggest challenge that we are seeing there. Secondly is the consumer education side of things, trying to change people's habits.
Okay. Anyone else? You relate with it, okay. Yes, there's a question there. Then we'll go to the back. Yes? Oh, where's the mic, the roving mic? Oh, yes, you can ask.
Okay. Hi, my name is Sunshine Olawuri. I'm a content producer, director for Adnom Communication Limited, Nigeria. And we are here to see who we can partner with, how to come to Kenya and create content. All right, I have 2 questions. One is for iFlix, right? iFlix, to the Google man here. Now, I want to ask, because I remember when Iroko came in 2012 to Nollywood, and they have VOD, that is, they operate on YouTube. And at a certain level, they move to SVOD. Now, I want to know why they are still running on VOD and SVOD. Is there a partnership between YouTube and Iroko? Because I have a content sold to Iroko on SVOD. I still have a content I partner on revenue share with same Iroko on VOD. So I've been paid for SVOD, and every 3 months I get paid on VOD. Are you getting? So I want to know, is that a partnership? Because Iroko can shut somebody's site down if there is maybe a fragment, or they are seeing the same content on another channel through YouTube or Google. They can shut that channel down. So I want to know, why are they stronger? Why are they strong? Is that a partnership between SVOD and VOD?
I get it. I can't comment on the business model of Iroko, right? That's something you'll have to pick up with them. To me, it doesn't make business sense, but that's something you'll have to pick up with these guys. I can't comment on that, sorry.
No, not to you. That's to the Google agent. Yours is coming.
Yes.
Yours. Yeah.
So I have no idea. I don't know. I'll find out from my colleagues in Nigeria and let you know. But yes, we do have a strong policies on YouTube. So, for example, if you put up content which is the copyright of another person, even before that person tells us, our algorithm, Content ID, will tell us, will even tell you before you upload that this content is violating or is matching somebody's content, and do you really want to proceed? And the owner will be notified. And we have strict policies on stopping YouTube channels, suspending, or even completely, disabling YouTube channels that are violating. But I can find out from my Nigerian colleagues about that.
And just to add, would want the questions to be more about the growth of the VOD sector, not necessarily contract-related personal questions. So if we keep it around there, yeah.
All right. Okay, my second question is, if I have my content with you, like iFlix TV, does me having the same content with Amazon and stuff affect your business in any way? Because maybe I'm doing a revenue share with your company and I have it here and I want to do it maybe Amazon, Roku, Pop, whatever. Does that affect your business in any way?
No, I get the question.
Exclusivity.
That comes into negotiation now, right? If we want exclusive content and you're receptive to giving us exclusivity, right, you can demand a higher figure, a higher price. If it's already you're already selling it on home network or on FTAs, we're going to use that and we're going to push the price down, all right, considerably, because we don't have any pull factor anymore because it's already done its rounds. So it really comes into negotiation in terms of that. But yes, you can go and say, I'm not going to give you exclusivity, but you're going to trade off price, all right, and then you go and give it on other platforms as well. And then we'll see whether it's attractive to us to actually invest in, if it's going to pull any audience in as well.
Okay, thank you very much. We can go to...
Good afternoon.
Afternoon.
My name is Nikki. I'm a filmmaker and want to introduce myself maybe as a content creator. However, I have a challenge because one thing I know for sure is that if you want original Kenyan content, then you will not have a problem with piracy. The problem with piracy is because you're going for content that is available on torrent. So my question is very simple. As a producer, I have to make my ends meet. I have a cast to pay, I have a crew to pay, and the gentleman over here is telling the lady, which I agree, go on YouTube and put stuff, just market yourself. But I come to Showmax or iFlix with a brilliant idea. What ways can we partner together and ensure that I have something to clear off my debts and also you guys make money? Because at the end of the day, we need to look at this as a business model, right? And unfortunately, right now, what we're getting from VOD is the model of payment as producers is not enough to sustain our, the people that we're working with. So the next best option is to go free on YouTube, which also is not working. So how do we move this conversion to this is a business and I can get it?
So I'll tackle that question by just going back to how content has traditionally been distributed. So with movies and especially, let me talk about movies. So movies first go to the people who can pay for it first. Who can pay the top dollar first, which is the theaters. Then after the theaters, you go to the pay TV because the pay TVs can pay top dollar for that. And they have a base that's already paying top dollar for their services. That is your DSTVs, your Zukus, and all other pay TVs. Then from there, it goes to either the the DVD market or the transactional video on demand, like what the services that MultiChoice have, like Box Office and all of that. And it trickles down. And so up to the point where it was released, it was in the theaters, time has lapsed, and it goes down all the way to... That's how Hollywood has done it in the past. And of course, that's being shaken, and it's being, some new models are coming into play. Now, that is one of the ways of how you need to monetize. So the number one thing is, of course, you have a crew to pay, you have all these production costs. Is to look for co-productions between the platforms. The challenge that we have, and I'll speak about myself, maybe Paul has a stash of tens of millions of dollars to buy on content. The truth is, we don't have that. we are still trying to prove the market. So in terms of the deals that we can promise to do in the market are not to that level where we are doing co-productions with like 20, producers. So at this point, we are still buying, the tested and proven type of products. And that's what we can afford because we still don't have millions of subscribers in our platforms. Okay? So what I would advise you is to look at, the more established players like our sister company, Mnet. Look for a co-production. I mean, if you look at all the content that's doing the rounds, your Selinas, your Suna Jonis, all those are concepts that were co-produced with those because they have the budgets. They have the subscribers that pay top dollar to finance some of those acquisitions. So I won't sit here and lie to you that, yes, we'll be able, maybe further down the line, we might have budgets that can sustain some of those acquisitions. We can say we are in a typical quarter, we are going to have 10 producers that we're doing unique content with them or exclusive content with them.
Just to add on to that, I think you've been the victim of capitalism through and through, right? We look back 10 years ago, the dynamics was producers would come, a television station would say, okay, fine, I'm going to give you 100,000 shillings an episode, that's my cap. You're not even going to cover even like part of your production on that, right? It was a very sad state of affairs. It is changing. Are we there yet? No, but it is moving in the right direction. But we still have some way to go. But I want to throw a question back to you. You don't have to answer it now. You said about local productions won't be in the pirate market. Why aren't local productions pirated? Don't answer the question now. We can talk about it later. I just want to throw it back to you. I'm still trying to figure that out. They're not pirated. I don't know if it's about a patriotic thing. That's one of mine. I don't know. But I would love to have that conversation later.
Okay. Thank you very much. Probably the last question because of time. Yes. Microphone with a roving mic there behind you. Good afternoon.
My name is James from Nakuru Structure, and we are so far we take pride to be the only company that has sponsored a film since the evolution. And I wanted to actually ask our content buyers. I've had most of us, we are film producers, film directors, and all that. What I was vouching for in all these panels, the panels that are here, could we have some of the incentives is like, apart from buying, why don't we support the film producers who are here? Let them co-produce, let's go to co-produce with them, or set aside a fund that could do maybe a competition like the way KFC is doing. Because we believe in Nakuru in supporting local content, and we're encouraging our filmmakers to do our stories. Going back to do our stories, then after doing our stories, we do community films. Because I think that our panelist who has just said, why don't you parade our films? Because people don't know. The funny thing, if you ask your neighbor if he or she does know if you are a producer or a filmmaker, they don't know. It's as simple as that, because nobody can pirate your film unless it's something that has been seen and people know about it, And it goes back to a challenge to all the film producers who are here, but again, I'm posing a challenge to the content buyers. We've had, I don't know if KTN is here, like the way you're doing a competition on I Can See. Why don't you do I Can Film? Just kind of, because again, if looking at our budget, when we go to our county budget, the budget that we're being given is very minute. Actually, it cuts across all the counties. The culture department is the least funded. So how do we, because for us, we're working on incentives for the filmmakers, like giving away charges from the county government for filmmakers to just have access to film locations. We're partnering with hotels to actually showcase what Nakuru has. If some of you are in our Nakuru 19 Stadium, will see the film on Lebon. So I think also as content buyers, let's go back and see what incentive can we give our filmmakers. But at the same time, could we promote the screening of these films? Apart, because you see, like for Nakuru, we don't have the cinema halls that we have. Would we go back again and say we can support one, producing films and supporting producing films, or two, support even screening local content? Because our communities don't know our films. It's as simple as that. So I don't know if it's possible to.
So I believe that's a partnership proposals. I don't know whether anyone wants to respond.
I'll just respond. I know the initiative that we're doing is not the way you've put it out, but MultiChoice has a new entity called MultiChoice Talent Factory, of which I can see some of the students here. And basically, at this point, what they're doing is getting very young people to come through, people who have been in the industry for a few years, and sponsoring them through some of these things, some of the technicalities we're talking about here, some of the different models, even upskilling them on how to make a film. And then after that, they give them the platform through all the different channels that they have, whether it's on DSTV, whether it's on GoTV, Mnet channels, and let those young people. So it's tackling that problem that you're outlining, but from a different angle, and they're getting there. So if I can project, this is something that was launched a few months ago, about 4 months ago, or maybe 6 months ago. If we project 5 years from now, probably they'll be tackling some of the challenges that you're mentioning. Just to answer you, I just needed to correct you. The reason why local content is not pirated in a big scale is not because of popularity, it's because government is involved.
Interesting, yes.
I think, just speaking as KTN, we always find creative ways to work with producers. And we're always open to opportunities that are available, because really building local content is what we see as our future and our place to play. And if you notice, we introduced a Swahili channel, KTN Burudani, and in this we really want to promote local producers, especially in Swahili language. So what I would say is that let's have a conversation. We have a booth out there, and let's see whether we can come up with certain key ideas which we can drive forward. But we are open to that. The other thing, just talk about piracy. I know we say local content is not pirated, but believe it or not, we used to produce, we still produce Jicho Pevu, which is an investigative series, and you would find those DVDs in the streets. So it also affects, there's also piracy with local content, and it's a big problem. Yes.
Yeah, at Google we have digital skills course that is both online and offline. We are conducting trainings for people who do not understand the value of digital, to introduce them to digital. And for those who already understand, to show them the different pathways, whether being a digital marketer. For those who want to be content producers, YouTube Creator Academy is online for free, learning how to produce videos. And if you actually have a channel that is active and has an X number of subscribers, you can actually unlock new levels of technical support from Google.
Okay, thank you very much. Just once again to thank the panelists, Mr. Paul Coogan, from the General Manager of Kwesi iFlix, Michael Morungi, Government Affairs, Public Policy, East Africa Google, Mr. Robert Oretich, General Manager Digital Business for Standard Group, yes, and Mr. Patrick Mungai, Head of Regional Growth for Showmax. Thank you very much for your insights and everything we've learned. I hope we've learned some things. I hope we've been able to glean some things. So something I'll ask is kindly just wait for about 3 to 4 minutes. Meredith has a short presentation just around the VOD market, then we'll conclude this session. So thank you very much.
Can I ask for 20 seconds to make a closing remark?
Yes. Oh, sorry, forgot. Closing remark, sorry.
Okay, good. So mine is to say that, this panel is all men. And I was hoping that the audience would have asked this, especially the women. I think we need to have more women represented, and this goes to Kenya Film Commission and the organizers. In Google, we have a rule. In fact, I'll be in trouble if you send this picture to my manager that I appeared in an all-male panel. I would have declined even if it was all going to be all-male. And if you ask yourself why there were no women here, whoever you are, whether as organizer or as audience, behind that question, you'll find the answer, and the answer will be about a certain bias that is preventing women from participating effectively. So let's change that. And closing, one of my other favorite films is Watu Wote, a film about based on a true story about how Kenyans who are attacked by terrorists transcended their barriers of religion to protect each other. And one of the people involved in that as a casting is a great woman in Kenya, and she's here, and her name is Lorella. Lorella, stand up. Is a great woman in film in Kenya. Thank you. That's my closing remark.
Thank you. Can you have closing remarks from everyone?
Okay. Just to close, I just want to say that for film producers, because this audience is really about film producers and all the aspects about film, is that really VOD will provide you with a real platform to showcase your talent and to grow. And for most of you, like most of upcoming Kenyans, we're all entrepreneurs trying to start your little thing, and this will give you an opportunity really to open up as more and more businesses out there will be entering the VOD market, and will always look for local content that is unique and that will speak to their audiences. Thank you.
Closing remarks. So the topic today is the future of video on demand. Some takeaway parting thoughts for you. $232 billion was spent on linear advertisement globally last year. $232 billion on advertisement. That mark is reducing 15% year on year. Where's that money going? VOD platforms, OTT platforms are going to spend $2 trillion globally in the next 2 years on content to get a share of that market. So our future of video on demand, everybody's going for it, guys. Apple disclosed a few days ago. Amazon is there. Disney bought Fox. iFlix is in 30 countries. We're rolling out 6 more countries in Africa in the next quarter. It is the future, but it's a long game.
Parting shot to the students, there's a lot to learn. And I think the digital space is where you need to be because it's a growing space. To the film producers, especially the local producers, take heart. Learn your models. That's number one. Learn the different ways you can monetize your content. And secondly, is just if you have a very good piece of content, Paul and I will be clamoring for it, and you'll probably have it. Those are the two things I want to say. Thirdly, the future is bright. I have a belief that in the next 10 years, more of our counties will have internet penetration, and we will not be having just the 2 players on the panel here. We'll probably be having a lot more players. Some of the producers will probably start their own platforms as well. You know, so the future is bright, and I think this is our time. This is a great opportunity for the youth to distribute their content. I think 20 years ago, when it was only Kenya Broadcasting Corporation, I don't know what chance you had to showcase your content. It's different now.
So thank you very much, Paul. Thank you, Michael. Thank you, Robert. Thank you, Patrick. Thank you very much. So I'll ask us to kindly step off stage and give Meredith an opportunity to just make the presentation. Thank you. Just a few minutes. Yeah.
Thank you. Yes, just a couple of things I'm going to show, which is what I mentioned a few minutes ago with the changing time formats. Where do I point for this? Just keep going. Forward to slide number 17, I think. There. So this is a collaboration between an African-American production company and an African production company. Cue the video. Cue the video, back up. Move your mouse, there's a play button there. Just mouse over the speaker. Yeah.
Have you ever wondered what it's like to give up everything you know and move across the world to follow your dream?
People come to LA for a million reasons.
Can you teach me how to do like the Mariah?
Some come to find stardom.
I feel passionate people are hard to understand, and it takes one to know one.
Others follow love.
I love LA and the dating scene. It's exciting, to a point.
Some come to chase success.
I am very grateful. I don't have a 9 to 5 like the average person.
While others chase the American dream.
Settling down as an adult in a different place where I didn't pick, it was hard for me.
But whatever it is that brings us here, the one thing we all have in common is that we are African in LA.
Go to slide 22.
Arun Ntege. I
some power. You got it.
Next one. One more. There. So this was done in a home environment, a nice backyard, and it's only 3 cast members. So it's a very cheap production. He's selling them for 99 cents an episode, and he has maybe 15, 20,000 subscribers. Go ahead. So it's just 2 women gossiping about whatever's going on in daily news.
For the something for the radio. Yeah. Hey y'all, what up though? Glad to see you at my show. You all look beautiful.
Thank you, Jalea.
That I'm not single. Damn, I wanna get you in the mood. Don't be.
Thanks, Jaleel.
Let it all out tonight. Leave here, saying size tight.
Dina, did I tell you the other day one of my girlfriends called the house looking for Eric? For what? To talk to him.
About what?
That's what I'm saying. About what?
Honey, my girls know not to call my house looking for my man. My girls better not even look at my man.
So you can go to slide 27. So again, this is just one example of a low-cost production where he's making enough money to sustain his production schedule. Now this is, everything you see done here can be done with today's technology. So it's a snapshot of where we're going. Go ahead. Nope, back up and play the video.
What was that show about fashion? The one with the blonde hostess? Yes, Style Nation. Add that to my personal channel.
What's trending in sci-fi?
It's almost time.
I know, I'm psyched. How long has that guy been up there?
Liftoff was 9 months ago.
Let's watch it again.
We better get going. Download to my tablet.
Show me women wearing red dresses. Okay, search for clips of women wearing short red dresses with accessories. Oh, show me that second clip.
So she's making a purchase in-app inside of the program.
Resume Style Nation. Call me a taxi. Pause. Save for later.
Hey, Dad. Hey, Dave. How are you? You guys ready to join the party? We're ready. All right, Dad. Let me sync the broadcast. How you guys doing? 5, 4, 3, 2.
So as I said, everything you've seen here is possible with today's technology except for the Mars landing. So thank you.
Yes, tomorrow from 5 we will announce the winners of each category. So be there so that through my will know who are the